ನಾನು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನವನು. I claim this city as my own. I want to live here for the rest of my life. ಆದರೆ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಈಗ ಬೆಳೆತಿರುವ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲ. I want to live in a city that I have helped create. ನೋಡಿ, ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲೊಬ್ಬ who is foolish enough to believe that they can change Bangalore. Whenever we talk about solving problems in our country, we start with a sense of defeat. Janasankhya, Badatana, education, garbage, pollution, the list is endless. And if you ask anyone who is to blame, the answer is the government. Somehow we have this belief that effectiveness and government just don't go together. There are many citizens among us who've been working to improve things for 10, 15, even 20 years, and they will tell you how hard it is. But it's also true that we as citizens often don't care enough. Have you noticed that whenever we join hands to do something together, we succeed? And whenever we feel we own something of value, we are motivated to take care of it. Somewhere deep within our hearts, we need to realize that we own Bangalore. Idu namma Bengaluru. There are also people within government who have the integrity and the motivation and the commitment to make a difference. But even they have an uphill task. So, idakku uttara enu? The answer lies in collaboration. On the one hand, you have citizens who want ownership. On the other hand, you have a government that wants to be effective. We need to bring the two together in an atmosphere of cooperation, not confrontation, where we begin to think of ourselves as us, not we and they. In this scenario, citizens will no longer stop at just electing a government, bari sarkaravannu chunayisuvadu ashte alla. They have to continue into participating in government. This is Janaagraha, the life force of the people. From today, we will not just make demands of government. We will not just have a dialogue with government. Instead, we will engage in providing the solutions. I can almost hear what you are thinking. Some of you are saying, this chap is a dreamer. He's dreaming the impossible dream. Idu asadhya. Adare kelavaru heltira, okay, let's do it. Let's take on the garbage, the slums, the roads. Let's do it all now. The reality is somewhere in between. The answer lies in a careful, measured, focused response. There are 1,000 things to be done. Let us start with one. Let us focus on one clearly defined objective. Guriyannu gurtisu munduvarsona. And let us put this all in a well-defined time frame. Why must we do this? Because when everyone does different things, there is no experience of change. But when everyone gets together and does one thing, you achieve concentrated energy and the change becomes visible. If you still think this is impossible to achieve, let me tell you about Porto Alegre. Porto Alegre is a place in Brazil, and a few years ago it looked like this. And then the citizens got together to claim ownership of their city. One by one by one, they collectively took up and solved each one of the city's problems, all in cooperation with the government. "11 years later, Porto Alegre looks like this. And if you want to see the difference in the numbers, Take a look at this chart. This is Porto Alegre's performance record compared to the rest of Brazil. Look at the statistics. Education, sanitation, water supply. Look at life expectancy. Look at infant mortality, 1/7 of the rest of Brazil. 5 in 1,000 compared to 37 in 1,000 for Brazil. That is Porto Alegre's record. Winners on every count. ಈಗ ನೀವು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ತಿರಬಹುದು ಅದು ಬ್ರೆಜಿಲ್ ಗೆಜಲ್ ಬಿಡಿ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಕಥೆ ನೋಡಿ ಅಂತ. Let me tell you what we have done over the last 18 months in the Bangalore Mahanagara Palike. We have helped the BMP completely reorganize its financial management systems. We have computerized and codified everything. Just 2 years ago, if you had wanted any kind of information, say what were the revenues in April 97 or what public works were underway in a particular quarter, nobody could have given you an answer. The situation now, every morning the commissioner gets a printed report on his table detailing all the financial aspects of the transactions that took place just the previous day. And you don't have to be the commissioner to get this information. Any citizen has access to any information at any time. There is nothing that we cannot do if we get together and do it as one. ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದಾದರೆ ಯಾವುದೂ ಅಸಾಧ್ಯ ಅಲ್ಲ. People say America is such a successful country. Everything works so well there. Well, one of the reasons is because Americans have such a strong sense of community. And who's to say Bangaloreans don't? We get together on matters of common interest and we achieve wonderful things. Do you know how many groups and associations there are in Bangalore? Can you guess? 94,000. And ee Sanghagala Sahayadinda, which already have a sense of community purpose, Janaagraha will work to fulfill the people's objectives. Janarinda, Janategagi, Janaagraha. Today, you are here as a member of one of the most powerful such communities, the residents' associations. And this is what we will do together. The BMP has an annual budget of about 900 crores every year. Of this, about 60 crores, it changes from year to year, is spent on what is called ward works. This ward works deals with the infrastructure in your neighborhoods, mainly the roads, the footpaths and the drains. So the ward works is what determines what your neighborhood looks like. Now every year the corporators and the administration sit together to determine the list of items that will be included in this ward works. And when this list is finalized, it is called the Program of Works or the POW, and it becomes the final agenda for that year. So if you are wondering why that pothole in front of your house has not been fixed for the last 2 years, it's because it hasn't been included in the POW. So let's make the Program of Works our starting point. Let us make it our single point focus. Let us, each one of us, get together in our communities and our neighborhoods and identify the list of ward works that we need. And when we have completed this list, let us sit down with our corporator and work with him or her to get what we want. Now the BMP may not have the budget to meet all of our requirements. So ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದ ಬೇಡಿಕೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಆದ್ಯತೆ ಕೊಡೋಣ. The entire list across all the communities and residents associations of Bangalore shall be compiled by the Janaagraha support team to form the All Bangalore Program of Works, which will have the agreement and the approval of all the corporators of Bangalore. In March 2002, when the BMP's budget is finalized and approved, this Program of Works shall in effect become the program of the citizens of Bangalore. ಕಾಮಗಾರಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನು ಪ್ರಜೆಗಳ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವಾಗಿ ಮಾರ್ಪಡಿಸುತ್ತೇವೆ. Wouldn't that be wonderful? All you need to do is to give 3 hours on a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon to do that first list. And the Janaagraha support team will give you training for this. And then a couple of hours to discuss it with your corporator, and a couple more hours to do the prioritization. Ishtu alpa samayakke ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಅಪಾರವಾದ ಅನುಕೂಲಗಳು. Now each community or association covers an area of about half a kilometer by half a kilometer, about 0.25 square kilometers. The entire city of Bangalore has an area of about 250 square kilometers, which means all we need is 1,000 such communities and associations to cover the entire city. In a city with 94,000 associations, is this really too much to ask for? And when we do this, when we achieve that single point agenda to set the BMP's program of works in the manner in which we choose, we will have actually achieved several things. One, we will have taken ownership over our neighborhoods. Two, we will have participated in governing ourselves. 3, we will have established a system in cooperation with government which can then be run year after year. And 4, we will have made history. Itihasane srishtistivi. After this, our next one-point agenda, whether it's garbage or slums or pollution, will be easier to accomplish. Not so far into the future, every citizen of Bangalore will be able to say, I created my city, and it looks like this, like this, like this. This is Janaagraha. Ide Janaagraha.